And another of their new signings, Aidan O'Kane, formerly of York City and Cliftonville, set up Ferguson, who made it 5-2 2 minutes after the restart to complete the scoring.
% record. Winky Murphy's effort crucial in the Blues' 1-0 defeat of Distillery.
I think we would be the first to admit that we didn't play as well as we would have liked to.
David Jeffrey's side maintained their 100% record with a 1-0 victory at Inver Park. The Blues match winner coming early in the first half after Mark Picking's initial shot was finished by Paul Dalgleish for Linfield's 4th win from 4 games. Penalties the first courtesy of the upright as Linfield brushed aside Newry at Windsor. In between there was a trademark goal for Winky Murphy from the corner of Kenny Irons, the defender stealing in unnoticed at the back post. The Blues were reduced to 10 men after Andy Hunter received his marching orders from referee Davy Malcolm for a rash tackle on Robbie Brunton. Before Dalgleish completed the scoring, and 5 wins from 5 games ensured Linfield were in the quarter-finals. The trot had raised spirits and expectations in the Linfield camp. However, the trip to Coleraine Showgrounds was never likely to be easy, a point graphically reinforced when Jerry Flynn forced the ball past Manus after an hour. It was 2-0 shortly after when Sean Armstrong got the final touch after a goal-mouth scramble. Linfield's first league defeat, while Roy Coyle's Glentoran couldn't score in their draw with Crusaders. Cup defeats put the pressure on Linfield boss David Jeffrey. However, a late goal from Pat McShane, followed by an injury time effort from Mark Picking, earned all 3 points against Dungannon.
It certainly wasn't a good game of football in terms of the quality of the play. But today wasn't so much about the performance, it was about the result. And there was a lot of pressure on us. Obviously it was built up through the press during the week, and that comes with being at Linfield. And I told the players I trusted them completely, and just asked them to go out and give them their best, and they showed real Linfield character. They kept going and going right to the very end.
David Jeffrey a tonic by claiming a battling point at Shamrock Park. Jeffrey missed the game because of a health scare, but his players did him proud. The home side were on top early on, and a rare Noel Bailey mistake gifted Portadown the lead in the 7th minute, Vinnie Arkins capitalising with the header. However, Linfield were back on terms within 7 minutes thanks to a controversial penalty. Chris Lindsay was adjudged to have fouled Linfield's Michael Galt in the box, and Glenn Ferguson made no mistake from the spot. Right at the death, Linfield had an unsuccessful penalty claim involving Paul Dalgleish, but referee Adrian McCourt adjudged the striker had dived and produced a yellow card.
The record was always likely to be severely tested in their visit to Windsor Park, and a solitary Glenn Ferguson goal was enough to topple Cliftonville when the striker rose above keeper Paul Straney for the winning goal.
Still recovering from illness at home, but the Blues' 4-0 win over Ards at Cannyboy Road would have made him feel a bit better. Glenn Ferguson got the opener, before Mark Picking added a brilliant second in the 70th minute. Sub Christopher Morgan strengthened his claims for a place in the starting lineup when he got the Blues' other 2 goals near the end. Linfield manager David Jeffrey made his comeback after illness at Windsor Park yesterday, and the action in the first few minutes certainly wasn't for the faint-hearted. With only 7 minutes gone, Mark Picking was shown a straight red card for verbal abuse. Then Linfield's Alan Manus became the second goalkeeper in the space of 3 weeks to score, his long kick bouncing over the head and a sparing dive of his opposite number, Gavin Cullen. The Blues had to wait until 2 minutes from time to secure the points. Pat Wall raced down the right, and Noel Bailey risked a nosebleed as he dashed upfield to finish it off. Another unlikely scorer after that bizarre opener from Manus.
I knew when I hit it well, and I thought it would go pretty far and give the defenders a bit of trouble. I never thought it would go in. Just unfortunate for Gavin Cullen, the great keeper. I'm sure he would have got it if he had been fully fit.
The pressure in second place, and it was a happy return to Mornview for ex-Glenavon man Glenn Ferguson, who scored both goals in Linfield.
Belfast Big 2 stay second after their impressive form continued with a 4-1 win over struggling Ballymena. Glenn Ferguson hit 2 of the Blues' goals, the others coming from Christopher Morgan and David Larmour. Noel Bailey has scored twice for Linfield in recent weeks, but this time he scored the opposition's consolation goal, ending a run of 5 clean sheets for Blues keeper Alan Manus, who was today named Player of the Month for October. Being the centre of attention, the visit of 2nd place Linfield to 4th place Lisburn Distillery was almost as important, with the Paul Muir goal for the Whites coming close to securing victory. However, with almost an hour gone, the home side's Paul Prenter was red carded after an off-the-ball incident. But 10-man Distillery held out until 2 minutes from the end of normal time, when Davy Larmour won a penalty, which Glenn Ferguson converted. An end to Linfield's winning streak, but one fortunate point better than none at all.
With an easy win over Larne. Pat McShane, playing his 250th game for the Blues, produced a perfect cross for Mark Picking to open the scoring after 25 minutes. Chris Morgan made it 2-0 8 minutes into the second half with a composed finish past Andy MacDonald. And 10 minutes from time, Michael Galt was fouled in the box and a penalty was the result. As usual, it was taken by Glenn Ferguson and, as usual, he scored. Manager David Jeffrey happy with the result and the performance.
I said to the players that I wanted a demonstration of hunger, of desire, of people who were sore at not having won a trophy last year.
A bit of a memorable milestone at Windsor Park when he made his 700th appearance, and he was later to prove the Blues hero. Limavady, though, took a shock lead after only 2 minutes, Liam Cooley booting in the opener. But Ferguson grabbed the equaliser when he got on the end of Stephen Collier's cross to volley in his 16th goal of the season. The Blues went in front on 33 minutes, Mark Picking out Christopher Morgan, who applied the finish. But Limavady levelled matters 16 minutes later, poor defending allowing Conor Lynch to head in to make it 2-2. But Spike then came to the rescue with a superb winner with just 5 minutes left, Kenny Arns with the cross, and Ferguson scoring with a great header, so Linfield stay second.
Got to give credit.
No side had scored more goals at home than Linfield even prior to yesterday's visit of Institute to Windsor Park, and Mark Picking enhanced the home side's goal difference after only a minute. From then on it was one-way traffic with David Jeffrey's side dominant throughout, striker Glenn Ferguson making it 2-0 in under 10 minutes. His first goal of an afternoon's hat-trick, as the former international's running tally was boosted to 20 goals in 19 matches, one ahead of the Port's Vinnie Arkins. Chris Morgan added a brace of his own, making it 6 of the best, keeping Linfield firmly in third and challenging for second. Men would have been creditable enough, but that proved too much for the home side, as Glenn Ferguson scored for the 8th consecutive game to claim victory, his 17th goal in the last 12 games.
Two clashed for years, but this was one of their most comfortable victories over their fiercest rivals. Winky Murphy gave the Blues the lead in the 24th minute, with the Glens defence all at sea. And Stuart King, in for the suspended Mark Picking, made it 2-0 with a quite brilliant effort just before half-time to put Big Davy's men in the driving seat. In the 66th minute, it was game, set and match when King capped a great day at the office with his second and the Blues' third. 5 minutes from the end, Tommy McCallion pulled one back for the Glens, but that was of little consolation. So now, with just one win in their last 7 matches, the defending champions are now 24 points behind the Blues, who are a point ahead of Portadown at the top of the table.